Hi Pisces, Bailey B hanging out for another intuitive reading to help you explore your subconscious and see what's going on. Thanks for being here. I hope this reading gives you something fascinating to think about, and I hope you can leave that information to lead you to more safety and more fulfillment. I want you to check in with your own intuition to see what feels true and only pick up what's resonating with you. Today I've got the Osho Zen Tarot deck. We'll pick a few cards, maybe 3 from there, and then we'll clarify with the Tarot del Fuego by Ricardo Cavolo. I am looking to push to get 1,000 subscribers. So for the next 5 weeks, I will be picking one new subscriber to give away a 30-minute reading to for free. So if you want a chance at a 30-minute reading with me, subscribe to the channel, become one of our newest members. And don't forget to like the video if you're liking this content. It really, really helps me grow the channel and continue to be here for y'all. The members only section has every day I've been putting out a nightly card for you guys, and the next career reading will be, wait, no, let's see, I just did the career reading, so the next love reading will be Friday, a week from next Friday. So yeah. And that's all for members only if you guys want to join. Ooh, tuning in or turning in. What else for Pisces? Clinging to the past. Interesting. And laziness. Interesting. We have breakthrough on the back of the deck, which I think was on the back of the deck last time we had the Osho cards out here. So I think you're about to come to a giant breakthrough, Pisces, in your love, work life, balance, or you feeling free to express yourself and pursue things like, ooh, excuse me, ooh, I had to sneeze. Things like expressing your creativity or being able to do more in life than just your job. I feel like that's the breakthrough that's coming to you. And there's also new vision here, which is the ability to kind of see from all different perspectives, even transcending to be able to understand different dimensions. But the first 3 cards we have out here are all water cup sister cards. So turning in is the 4 of Cups. This is kind of about tuning out all the chatter in your mind and being able to understand that you're the observer behind all of the mind chatter. This is about kind of what I was talking about last reading, about being confident in the person who's observing your life from within you, and that's kind of like the real true you that can provide you with insight about what's best for you. I kind of want to talk about exploring your subconscious. This is the person I'm talking about here, is somebody who is watching your life unfold from inside of you. Then we have clinging to the past, which is the 5 of Cups. It's about, you know, all the mind games that we play with ourselves to keep ourselves stuck in this box. There's different mouths here, like spitting out different words and different, there's like a rainbow, just like all this chaos up here. These movie reels that go on in your head. I don't know if you guys can see that like well enough to really see all those details, but it's basically somebody who's trapped in their thinking brain and not being able to see outside of themselves, see the bigger picture. So these two are really very related. It's kind of about getting to a place where you can have a new perspective on the world around you and not feel like you're trapped in the same thinking modes and the same repetitive thought patterns as always. And then we have laziness, which is the 9 of Cups. Typically the 9 of Cups I think about as being like a really joyous card. We actually had that in our last reading as well. This is more of a card though of being complacent, like sitting in this place, calling it self-care, but really just not wanting to pay attention to the things that are actually crumbling around you. So this is almost like a blissful ignorance or a willful denial of reality because you want to stay in your comfort zone, which I feel like is something we can really dive into a lot more. There's a lot behind that, right? Being able to find a balance between self-care and crossing over into almost like toxic positivity or perpetual excuses to not make yourself uncomfortable or to not push yourself to grow beyond where you're at right now. So let me kind of rearrange this for a sec, and then I will pull out some Tarot del Fuego cards to get clarified. Like I said, if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button if you haven't already. It really helps the channel. And if you subscribe, if you're a new subscriber, you'll have a chance to win a free 30-minute reading. I'm going to pull it a name next Friday, or a week from today. All right, what is the turning in card, the Four of Cups sister card for Pisces here? What is this turning in? What do we need to learn? The Knave of Swords. I have a story for that card. What else? The Four of Wands. Interesting. Then we have the Tower on the back of the card, or on the back of the deck, which is a lot like this breakthrough card, where something that is like a structure is crumbling down. The Tower card specifically is about something that kept you trapped, which again is really similar to this other energy here, and that needed to come down in order for you to free yourself to experience new things. And then the Sun is here with this new vision. So definitely something here about a breakthrough, and then having a new sense of clarity or truth about where your life is headed, or what you can feel free to do with your life. So the Knave of Swords and the Four of Wands here. This is interesting for the turning in card. The Knave of Swords, I think about this particular drawing as turning inwards. This character has been blindfolded, and they are experiencing emotions here that are very big. But they have this crown of success and like abundance around their head. And what they're actively doing is using this sword, which is like your word or an idea. But here I think obviously it's coming out of this person's mouth. So it's like something that you can say or talk about that's going to crack open this cave where people have been hiding in the dark. So I see this as like somebody who is a truth teller, somebody who goes through the emotions that, you know, might be present in like a family structure or in a friend group or a relationship, and then is able to talk about it with a poignancy that actually crumbles other people's like safety blankets about the subject. So these people might be like kind of frustrated that you're crumbling their cozy little cave, but they weren't learning or growing in there in the dark. So it's almost like you kind of using your intuitive, emotional, and communication skills to speak truth and wade through complex things in order to kind of like crumble down those illusions, not only for you, but for other people as well. And the Four of Wands is this campfire vibe, like having this abundance, this warmth around you, lots of happy memories with these flowers, lots of collaboration here. There's all these eyes working together to bring you this flame. I also think of these little white figures here as like ghosts or passed over loved ones or spirits that are kind of helping you move through space. This could be lessons that they taught you. This could be, you know, just parts of like your DNA that are manifesting in you, your subconscious, epigenetically, that kind of thing, where you're affected in sort of like a family dynamic I keep getting here. Like I keep seeing sort of a family like gathered around a campfire here. But let's keep going. The clinging to the past card. Okay, what does Pisces need to know about clinging to the past? What is Pisces? 9 of Pentacles. All right. What else does Pisces need to know about clinging to the past? Oops. 8 of Cups on the back of the deck. So you might not be seeing this now, but you might be walking away from something soon. This is another card of something crumbling down that was like a solid structure. But this is almost like an active tearing down of the structure instead of like a sudden ambush of like that's out of your control. This is almost like all the things, all of your emotions, all the things that you've been working on and growing are actually actively reaching up and like tearing down those structures for you, because you've been doing the work here. Right when we start to tackle the things that are difficult in our lives and face the things that make it harder for us to be authentic, it a lot of times like requires a breaking down and rebuilding of ourselves that becomes kind of painful and like I said, almost incapacitating for a while you're moving through this energy. You might be like even having a hard time giving up these feelings of being trapped or feeling like you're kind of being forced to stay here or stick here. Justice card on the back of the deck. So you're getting some kind of justice. The Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm seeing good fortune here for you in the future. The Queen of Pentacles is a step up from the Nine of Pentacles. Maybe you're graduating into this stronger, more mature energy where you're feeling even more peaceful and at home regardless of where you are. You have a really solid sense of self, especially as you're growing older. You're feeling your power more and your stability. And the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor to help bring you this lasting peace regardless of these waves that you might be going through. The Laziness card. I'm curious what that is. Like if we're resisting this change on the Wheel of Fortune, maybe this cultivation of our more mature energy is not coming easy for us here. Because at the moment, I'm not really seeing a call to action on our part to like move past. I don't feel like we're being complacent. What is more information about this Nine of Water, Nine of Cups card, this Laziness card? The title card, where did that even come from? I don't even keep the title cards in my deck. Weird. I don't know what to make of that. But again, I almost feel like this is somebody else's energy and maybe it's frustrating you. Maybe that's kind of why you're clinging to the past, because you're like judging other people's behavior and actions because they're not what you would have done, or they're not, like I said before, they're not seemingly working as hard as you are to get to the bottom of whatever it is that is unhealthy here. We talked about like a family unit over here, and that might be the unit that is a challenge for you right now to kind of stay out of this judgmental energy about their choice to be complacent and to focus on yourself. I think the advice that comes to mind is to lead by example and leave others to their own, breakthroughs, hopefully. I was going to say their own struggle, but, of course we want the people that we love, the people around us, to end up having that breakthrough and being able to come out the other side with a clear vision of how to like best operate in the community and be a part of each other's lives. I want like a little bit more energy here, kind of switch it up and pull out some more Osho cards. So what is it that Pisces is tuning into here with that self-reflection and helping others possibly move on from clinging to the past, helping themselves move on? What are they tuning into here? What is Pisces exploring about themselves that is going to be a breakthrough for them and others as well? Stress. So how to deal with stress, how to not live in stress, how to not just perpetually be in the rat race that makes no sense. I love this image because it's the perfect image of self-induced stress or like unnecessary stress. This multi-handed clown is holding the leash that is attached to the monkey that is pointing a needle at the balloon that this person is balancing on. Working your fingers to the bone is a badge of pride. Those are things that are actually generational and not healthy to pass down, especially in a society where we're demanded to do and take care of and remember so many things in a single day or week, much, much more than our parents and our grandparents were expected to hold on to during the day, especially with work. Like, I was listening to Malcolm Gladwell speak about work now versus work even back in the 80s and how much more stressful it is today for the average worker just because we're expected to perform so much more. And not only that, we're on call basically 24/7. Even if we do work an hourly job, we still have to be flexible with our schedules, or if we work a salary job, we're expected to like answer emails at night. That kind of thing. Like, there's never a time where somebody can't reach us. So these are things that I think in our generations we're responsible for working through, and like I said, leading by example to de-stress your life, to prove to yourself and to others that it's not healthy or a point of pride to continue to operate in this energy. It's not something you should be proud of. It's actually something that's going to eventually deteriorate your health mentally and physically, and allow you not to keep continuing to work in a healthy way and keep continuing to contributing to your family and friends. So if this is something you've been working through lately, Pisces, you're really helping others to see your example of, taking the grind out of your life and showing others that not only is it possible, but it's preferable and it's respectable. Let's get another card here for Pisces. What else? What is this clinging to the past that they're helping people move on from? What is clinging to the past that Pisces? Comparison. Interesting. So this might be a nod to different lifestyles, different types of ways of being in the world. If we're clinging to the past, there is a certain prescribed way that you are supposed to be in the world or grow, a certain way you're supposed to look and act and be. But the more we evolve as a society and as a species, we can observe the absolute plethora of diversity that is among humankind, and that we don't need to compare ourselves to others, because it would literally be like comparing a tree to a piece of bamboo, two totally different materials with totally different uses from totally different backgrounds. And yes, they could be compared, I guess, if you were to look at the very like inside of the meat in terms of like the bamboo or wood, but the way that they've come about and the way that they exist in the world in their natural form is completely different. So to compare themselves is pretty futile. And I think this is what we end up doing in our lives when we are looking at ourselves and where we think we should be, and also when we're judging others about what their lives are supposed to look like or be, or whether or not they're a success or a failure, depending on what their lives look like. I mean, so many people right now can't afford to pay rent, so they end up moving back in with family members. And who is any of us to say that they're not successful because they've had to do that, or they have some sort of personal character flaw, or they're not working hard enough, just because their story doesn't look like yours. But the thing with that is your story is totally different. If you grew up in an earlier generation, it was much more affordable for you to find housing. Like a minimum wage job or just a regular wage job was plenty to not only feed yourself and have housing, but to also raise a family and support a spouse. Like, none of those things are possible now. What I'm saying is to compare somebody else's life to yours, or a certain person's life to another person's life, is completely worthless. It doesn't mean anything because it's not, there are so many variables that have affected those two things. It would only be meaningful if everything was the same except for one thing, and then you could draw a conclusion about that one thing and what that did to affect the outcome. But with humans, it's like we literally go through an infinite amount of moments and thoughts in our lifetime, and we could possibly compare ourselves to another human and get any kind of meaningful information out of that. It's just scientifically unhelpful, and it's also socially and emotionally incredibly unhelpful. I think the advice here is to show people that we don't all have to look the same in order to achieve what we're meant to here in this life. And a lot of people live a lot of different ways and look a lot of different ways and behave in a lot of different ways. And not one is better than the other, as long as we're all doing our best and getting along with each other, you know? And I think this is, some people are chosen to set this example in life. Not all of us can be compared to others in a traditional way because we don't have the same life experience, or you just never know what people have been dealing with and what they've overcome and how far they've come, right? That's the measure of a person, is like, are you, like, how much more have you grown today from yesterday, and how much different are you today than you were from the you 10 years ago or 20, 30 years ago. That's kind of who we can be comparing ourselves to, not each other. All right, so what's this last thing about laziness and complacency? What is Pisces feeling here with the Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune? The Outsider. Yeah, this is kind of what I was feeling. This is the Five of Pentacles sister card. There's 3 fives here. We've got the Five of Cups, Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles. 555. So this is a change, a turning point, a point at which you realize things are finally coming back around to the other side. The Wheel of Fortune is then even more relevant, like it's turning in your favor finally. But so much of the time when we're the person in the family or the group to speak up or to point out these things that are futile or, unhelpful, like comparison or stress, or if we want to break patterns instead of clinging to the past and point out people's complacency and how they've gotten lazy, or even how you've gotten lazy. A lot of times, like I said, we lead by example. So the minute we decide to improve ourselves, it almost like offends other people, because then it turns the attention to them and the fact that they're not learning and growing. But I really feel like with this Queen of Pentacles energy, this maturity, this sense of stability within yourself, Pisces, that you've been cultivating because you've been going within, you've been honest with yourself, you've been leading by example, and you've been calling out all of these things, and you've had the courage to be the outsider while doing it. This is what's turning the Wheel of Fortune in your favor, and what is going to get you this favorable judgment in the end. Even if you feel like no one else around you is really seeing it, what you're doing, or seeing your improvements or their improvements because of the work you've done, and they've been reflecting that, you're going to get rewarded for that somehow, some way. The Three of Wands. Amazing. Justice again. You're going to get justice, Pisces. The judgment is going to go through and you will get justice. Maybe not in the way that you think you will, but you will look back on this time in the future and you'll say, man, I'm so glad that it ended up going down that way, even though it was super hard, because I would not change it, because it would change where I'm at now. So I definitely see you being proud of yourself in the future about how this whole series of things has unfolded, even though it has been really difficult. The Three of Wands is this card of internal strength, of success, of being able to put into practice the things that you're dreaming of and that you're wanting, using your imagination and your actions to manifest things in the world. There is a sense of accomplishment here, a sense of this person has earned this home that they're comfortable in, but then they're also so much bigger than that. Like, they're capable of going out and reaching out into the world and growing and not making this material wealth or this material stability their entire story. Their entire story is so much bigger than that because they're cultivating themselves here from the inside. So this is what I feel like you're doing, Pisces. You're focusing on the apple right inside of you, like that beautiful piece of juice and that meatiness, that glowing fire of growth and learning and passion that's within you, that you're cultivating, and you're coming out of your shell. You're making this part of your journey much more important than your material part, and that's what's going to bring you success in the end here, Pisces. So congratulations on being this beautiful adventurer who is improving themselves, being able to heal family dynamics, heal past wounds, heal generational dynamics and unhealthy patterns, being able to recognize those patterns for yourself, being able to accept yourself for where you are and not compare yourself to others, and continuing this good work, even though you might feel like an outsider right now, is going to bring you success and justice. And the Wheel of Fortune is here for you, Pisces. So I'm super proud of you for all this hard work you're doing, and I know that it's going to manifest in better times for you coming soon. Thank you for your bravery and your insightfulness, and thank you for all you do for our community and everyone around you. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, Pisces, and I hope you live long and prosper.